I've also decided I'll do the 12, or not 12, 20 things, trying to, if I can talk, 20 random facts about me. It took me a while to come up with some of these because I talk a lot. I'm an open book, so it's kind of like, what have I not told? We'll see. Number one, as I dream deja vu a lot. Um, I will have dreams, very vivid dreams, and days, weeks, months later, even years, they'll come true, exactly as I saw them. Exactly. Um, one, one was I was a kid. I dreamed of this house that was on like either the edge of a lake or a river, and very rustic, but had a very like a long like porch that like wrapped around half the house. And I dreamed of that. And then years later, I was on a school field trip on the river in town, and it's the only place you can see this house is on the river. And I'm paddling through, and all of a sudden I see this house, and I'm like in shock. And my partner was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "That house. I've dreamed of that house." And cats in there, and it was exactly as I pictured it. Every part, every part. Also, with our church when I was about 15, we took we took a trip through West Virginia, down to Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, back up to Indiana. And it was a week-long trip. And we did some whitewater rafting, and we went and camped in the Smoky Mountains, which was a lot of fun. And while we were there that night, I had a vivid dream that a couple of my friends who were part of the family that was traveling with us announced that they were leaving the church. And I was telling my another friend the next morning, I was like, I just had this dream that, they're going to be leaving. And and she's like, no, they won't do that. They're such a big part of our church. You got it? There we go. Oh, there we go. Got our cereal. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm knocking off something. Sorry. Um, and she's like, no, they won't do that. So a couple days later, we finally make it home. Sorry. Finally make it home, and I was so exhausted from the trip. Say hi. That I did fall asleep at church. It was awful. So tired. I fell asleep in our youth room on the couch, and I missed service. And my friend came running in and said, "Oh my gosh, you're right, you're right. They just announced they're leaving." And I'm like, like it's one of those things you didn't want to be true, but again, I knew the way I dreamt that it was going to happen. They their father was the assistant pastor of our church, and he got his own church down in southern Indiana. So they had made the announcement that they would be moving on, and so it was a really sad day for me because I was just like, I knew it was going to happen. But I dream deja vu a lot. I dream of houses that I never seen, and I will find them exactly. I mean, another house. There was one out in the country that was. It's hard to describe it, but I remember when I saw it as I wasn't driving. My grandpa was. It was like I dreamed of the house, and it was a road again, a road I've never been on. No need to be on. So there was, yeah. But yeah, that's number one. Number two, I had cat scratch fever. Yeah, it's a real disease, and I had it. You get it from kittens and bacteria and stuff that's in their nails, like in your bloodstream, like your lymph nodes sticky. And I didn't know I had it until my doctor got down on one knee and played air guitar and told me I had cat scratch fever. And kind of embarrassing, but just had to take certain medicine. Close your mouth. But because of that, I had reoccurring sore throats for years. It would, my lymph nodes would collect in my throat. But it all started in the crease of my leg, where you have a large area of lymph nodes, and it hurt. It felt like I had a golf ball in my leg. Yeah, that happened to me. Shh, shh, no. Number 3, I painted on a few murals in town. Shh. Unfortunately, they don't really exist anymore. Yeah. One was a temporary fence. I know, nobody sees your food. Where they were reconstructing part of the city park, and they wanted to fence up that people could enjoy. And I helped paint on that. And then there was another mural that was underneath a bridge on a building, one of the first ones that I helped be a part of, and I helped paint the higher parts because at the time I didn't have a problem being up on some scaffolding and painting. And it's no longer there. They took down the building because it's like right underneath a bridge in town, and they're reconstructing the whole bridge. And unfortunately, it's gone. But if I can find my picture of it, I will try to share that with you. Number 4, I had my tonsils removed when I was 32. I have very large tonsils, but because of cat scratch fever, my tonsils were getting worse. I had sore throats all the time. And then a couple years ago, right before my tonsils taken out, I had sore throats like every month. No. But kind of wish it was done sooner, but at least they're gone now. Much better. I don't get the crazy sore throats anymore. Number 5, I was pulled over 3 times in one night by different cops. I worked in a movie theater, so I was working till 11:30 midnight every night. So I left work. I went down this one main road to get to where my husband now, living, and I got pulled over, and they just pretty much asked me to see my ID and let me go. I was like, oh, that's weird. But still being young, I got really worked up and anxious about it, because I've been pulled over a couple times, and sometimes, they like to pull. They like to pull over young people sometimes. It just makes your nerves just get all. But before I started driving again, I wanted to take a rest. So when I got to his house, I said, let's rest a minute because we were going to go get something to eat. Tearing my clothes here. Do you want to sit in my lap? You want to sit in my lap? Who's that? Baby? Who's that? Who? Mama? Nobody wants to see your food. But before we went out to eat, I wanted to take a rest and let my nerves calm down a little bit before I started driving again. And about an hour later, we left, and same street, about maybe 100 yards away, got pulled over by a different cop. And he said I was swerving or hugging a certain line because it was a 5-lane road, 1 turn lane in the middle, two going either direction, and his bright lights made it kind of hard for a second. And I knew it was a cop, but then he wanted to say something. I was like, don't say anything. It's not a big deal. But of course, I got worked up again. And so we changed our mind where we were going to eat. So we turned a different way. I don't know. Mama. Oh, that's what it was. An alarm trying to go get Sissy. Yeah, so we got to hurry. Yeah. So I changed my mind, changed lanes, and as I did that, another cop on the other side of the intersection changed lanes, and he pulled me over. Luckily, he knew me from the movie theater, and he's like, "Oh, girl, go on." I broke down into tears because the only thing I can come up with is that they were pulling over my car looking for somebody else. I had a very, I'll say not common, but there was a few in town that looked like it. So the only thing I can think of, but it was pretty stressful. Number 6, I chased a bus in the 6th grade. I went to an overnight field trip to the Henry Ford Museum. When I got back, I went to the restroom in the school and thought I left my animal, my favorite stuffed animal, on the bus. And the bus started to pull away, and I started booking across the field. And I was running until I heard people go, "Kara, we have your toy!" And I'm like, oh, it was embarrassing. To the point that the next day, my teacher asked my gym teacher how fast I ran my mile. And when he told her how slow I was, she's like, "Oh no, she could have done much better than that." Um, Number 7, I talk to myself in the bathroom. It's my quiet space. Um, I do. I talk to myself in the bathroom sometimes to clear my head. I pray in the bathroom. Probably too much information, but I do. Um, um, Number 8, my favorite color is blending my 2 other favorite colors. Purple is my favorite color, but it's because red and blue have always been my favorites. But as a 6-year-old, I was like, why does somebody ask me what my absolute favorite is? I can't just have 2. And I blended. Yeah, really corny, but true story. Um, Number 9, for fun, I love to stare at maps. Love to stare at maps. Whether it's on Google or whether it's on an atlas, I will stare at a map as long as I can. I love exploring cities that way, even though I've never been there. It's in a way, it's like mentally traveling. Number 10, I used to collect Got Milk ads. I used to have a wall full of them as a teenager. I still have them in a book somewhere. I think they're out in the garage. And then one of the static photo books. But I had it, I don't know. I'm going to say at least 40, 50 on my wall. Um, Number 11, I'm really good at remembering random birthdays. I will associate them with something. Um, I don't want to go too much into it because I'm short on time, but I do remember a lot of birthdays. Um, again, I'm good with numbers. I think that's what it is. But like I still like random, like one I know right now, Chuck Norris, born March 10th, 1940, because he's going to be like 78 this year. And so I'm thinking, man, 78 is still kicking ass. Also, because I share a birthday with Whoopi Goldberg. That's why I remember his birthday, because they're born in the same year, but she's born on my birthday, November 13th. So just random things. Number 12, I knew my sister was pregnant before she did. Me and my sister, our kids have always been like 6 to 9 months apart from me having one to her having one. And so when I was pregnant with my third, the joke was she was going to become pregnant. And one time she called my mom and I was there at the house and I was like, what was that about? She's like, oh, it was Olivia. And I was like, oh, she's pregnant. She's like, no, she can't be. She has an IUD. And I was like, yeah, whatever. A week later, she calls and says she's pregnant. She's had the IUD for 2 years, but she got pregnant because it moved. So, in a way, I knew she was pregnant before she did. 13, I wanted to work for Disney World or a theme park, but chickened out. I had applied to work at Kings Island. I did the application. I drove down there. The moment I got into the park, I chickened out. I didn't even go to the interview. I didn't even tell them I wasn't there. Because it was one of those weird things that once you got there, it wasn't as magical anymore. Nope, it wasn't magical anymore. It wasn't fun. I thought I might know all this weird stuff behind the scenes, and I'd rather not. So I just chickened out. Didn't do that. Number 14, can't stand coffee, but I like the smell. I do like the smell of coffee, but I can't stand the taste of it. It tastes like dirt to me, but anybody who drinks it, I'm sorry. Number 15, I used to play volleyball as a teen. I played it for a few years with church. It was really fun. About the only sport that I was halfway decent at. Number 16, I graduated from the same high school as my grandmother. It doesn't seem crazy until you understand that my grandmother graduated in this town, moved to another town in Ohio, and raised a family there. My mom grew up in Ohio. My mom came back to Indiana because there was other siblings here her aunts and uncles. She lived with an aunt to go to beauty school here, met my father, and I was born and raised here. However, I wasn't even supposed to go to the high school she graduated from because my high school had a different name. But they condensed schools and they moved the high school's name to the high school I was going to. So I actually did graduate from the same high school, or the same high school name that my grandmother did. So it seems kind of strange how that happened, but still think it's kind of neat. Sorry, looking at the time there. 17. I have many, many books signed by Meg Cabot. A little stuff on top. A good None of these are signed by Meg Cabot. She's the author that did Princess Diaries, the one that Disney made into a movie. And I went and saw her at a couple different stores and got several books. I even have the DVDs and the poster, like movie poster, signed by her. So there's several. I'm going to show you a couple because there was another one. One of the books she was promoting when she was traveling around. I lost the dust cover to this, which makes me mad, but Pianato was the one she was promoting, and Ben's signature. And I just saw this a minute ago. The picture is in that book. Oh, a horrible glare. It's a horrible picture. There's some other books getting signed. It was a pretty neat opportunity to have these things autographed by her. But I think all of those I have 1, 2, 3, wait, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus a couple movie posters and a couple movies. So I have signed by her. But she's from Indiana, and that's one of the reasons why I was able to see her. Number 18, I've never left the U.S. I would love to travel if money was no option. I would go anywhere and everywhere. I would love to especially see England, Australia, Canada, a lot of other European countries, and France. Why not go to Paris, right? Paris. Yeah, if money was an option, I would be traveling, but I have never left the U.S. 19, I love roller coasters. I haven't rode any in a long, long time, but I loved them. I loved the thrill. And then one day I rode 13 of the 16 at Cedar Point, which I wish I could rode them all, but we didn't. But I love them. I used to know the ones at Kings Island before they changed the name. I used to know them by heart. Number 20, I met my husband at Walmart. It's not Walmart anymore. It's where Hobby Lobby is now. But I met another friend that I knew at school, and he wanted to get together. And he wanted to actually pursue me, but me and Anthony hit it off so well that we've been together for 15 years. So, I will have to make this short for you, under 29 minutes. I will probably not be able to come back before the new year, so Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, say bye. Bye. Also, on the sad news, we heard yesterday Martina from Chaplain passed away, and even though I do not have any of her patterns, she is amazing designer. I have always wanted to own one, but the cost definitely had held me back from that. But she's definitely, I would have to say, the most elegant designer I've ever seen. Her work is just stunning. You can't hold it to anything else. They're just beautiful pieces of work, and anybody who's got one, I know that you guys are going to treasure those. Because butterfly lace, I think it was a Moroccan, blue Moroccan something. I know bluebells were gonna. They're just gorgeous. So she will definitely be missed by this community, and we'll see how things go with that company. So thanks again for watching. Have a good year, guys, and I will see you in about a month. Bye.